Still module 5. Welcome to PRN5. And we are doing part 3 where we're still on the social skills, but now the last part we stopped on the communication styles, and now we're on to the objectives of communication. Why do you communicate? Why do you talk? Why do you write? Why do you have gestures? In order to transmit information. So the objective and purpose of any communication is to attain or accomplish through our efforts. Yes, and we want to speak or write and transform it into gestures and behaviorisms and mannerisms in order to transmit that information. We have chat with our groups of our friends, socialize and express ourselves, official business functions like I've said earlier on in the previous video. The toddler scenario will definitely not be the UNISA professor scenario. So you have different ways of communicating. You speak, you listen, you write to customers, subordinates. So can you imagine as a PR officer, you want to write to the SABC about something that they have on the advertisements about the company, and you say, hi Greg, hi Alyssa. That is not going to work. You need to address them in a formal manner. So we have a specific purpose of accomplishing this scenarios. Okay, so the next one is communicating could have many objectives depending on the context and the persons involved, and communication within the family, the classroom, the theater, the seminar room, the boardroom. Organizations are all different and depends on the purpose that needs to be achieved. So, the objective of communication is to inform. You are bringing forward information. You're informing your audience. And if you look on page 80, you'll find in dash forms the different objectives. So, to inform, foremost objective of any communication, you want, because you've got information, you've got power. And they say information is power. So the person that is giving the information has a double-edged sword in there. Why double-edged? Because you can transmit, but you will have a feedback when you have transmitted that information. Information needs within and outside the organization and are met through communication channels. You want to persuade people. That's why you communicate. Important to persuade your employees work efficiently and, for example, with customers to buy your products. To educate, information is shared because you want people to know knowledge or have knowledge about the specific product, the service. And now we're in an era now that we are bombarded with information. And those who cannot understand it are signed language. They are shown in little skits as to what to do with even out knowing the real verbs or the verbal communication to it. People washing their hands, people way of coughing, etc. That all is information that I can tell you. Cough in your bended elbow or wash your hands frequently. That's verbal. But if I show you, sends the same message. Right. To train, information is shared or communicated because you want to train people. It's an integral part of any training program. You send on a course, you are coming to your business diploma course and you're doing PR. If you did not have your manual, if you did not have your textbook, you cannot know what is your training material. You have to come online every time to come and check what does Mr. Simon have to say about this. To motivate, you communicate, high level of morale and motivation, you communicate, you can pat on the shoulder or you can say, well done. So that is a way of communicating that you are very inspired or that you are pleased with the work that is being done by your employees. To integrate, large business organizations have different business units, departments, territorial divisions, different targets, etc. Can you imagine an organization functioning without departments, employers and employees communicating? Let that sink in. To entertain, whatever be the nature of business, there's always time for entertainment. Why? You don't just want to be... People work better when they're productive better when they are feeling at ease, not pressurized, not stiff, not sensitized by rules and regulation, but making a joke now and then, lightly speaking, that you're not making fun of people, etc., but that there's a humor being used, but a fitting humor to the scenario. It facilitates social bonding, lighter moments, and relieves tension. So objectives of communication are dynamic and ever-changing. The common objectives of official communication: you give information or you get information. Ask for give instructions, you advise suggestions, etc. And to make requests and to persuade others people to agree with you. Sometimes we communicate with intention of complaining. Isn't that true? You want a raise in your salary, so where you go to? I've got a grievance, I'm not paid enough, so you go to your union. You're still communicating. Warning, unfortunately we do this angrily, our arguments. Do that again. Come one time late again to the meeting. You will have your first written warning. Unfortunately, that is how it works. It's a way of... You can't say, if you're going to be late again, I think I'm going to give you a warning. Can you understand why communication needs to be in the tone as to what you want to express? If we learn to complain and warn in an acceptable and constructive manner, our serious intention can be conveyed effectively without damaging relationships. So, the whole objective of communication is to caution, to counsel, to clarify, to appraise, to evaluate, to reprimand, organize, other such objectives. We should make use of communication. Where does communication take place? Outside and inside the business. The external dimension regarding communication as a bigger arena which includes building relationships with external agencies, etc. The previous modules concentrate on the stakeholders, that you're going to work with competitors, that you're going to work with other authoritative organizations such as even SARS, the skills development agencies, etc. So they are all from your public or from the external dimension. And with that comes communication in such a way that you need to trust whoever you speak to. Can you imagine you do not trust your supplier externally? If you do not trust your supplier, do you think you will get cooperation? Will there be any collaboration amongst you? Innovation and commitment. When you have established a relationship of trust, collaboration and commitment, you will have always a creative idea as to how to prolong it, how to sustain it, how to keep it feasible. Self-involvement of people in various activities is inculcated to create a vibrant and congenial atmosphere. That is when people are feeling happy, they can, and they are committed, they will be working well together. Effective communication, the advertisement, in the department, the public relations help in building the public image and goodwill of the organization. internal dimension. I am not going to go in depth into the section because that was the previous module when we had internal communication as a whole. Knowing that from the inside of the business, how your image needs to be portrayed, and the communication that takes place on your notice boards, on the emails, on the telephone, etc. So, that's the last bullet, implementation of the top management, the policies and procedures. That's all internal. The code of conduct is internal. And the next slide is also about the internal communication. Just take a few seconds just for you to view that. Within each department and across different department, functional heads have to communicate to their subordinates. Also in the previous video when we had internal communication, we had the line, the functional and the matrix structures as part and parcel of internal organization structures. Our HR is internal, deals with it. I will mail this as soon as possible to your inboxes, so keep on checking your inboxes for the information on hard copy. PR communication becomes essential to design appropriate advertisements and promotional material. You can think of any advertisement, there must be instructions, there must be information, etc. that needs to accompany the advertisement, so that the people that are looking at the advertisement, that needs to receive the information, are well read about it and then become knowledgeable about the information. The last bullet there is all about oral and non-verbal communication and how other means of communication takes place. I'm going to let you have that, and then for the last part of this section, for this lecture, we then will concentrate on verbal and non-verbal communication. Thank you for attending.